Hello and welcome to this tutorial. This is the second in my cartoon mini-series, and today we're going to be felting some cute little elephants. So in this tutorial we're going to be felting this first one. So if you'd like to get started, then we'll head over to the other camera and grab our materials. So here are our materials for our cute little elephants. We've got some darkish grey, some lighter grey, and then just some dark for the eyes. So you can use any colours you want. If you don't want to do a pink elephant or a blue elephant or a purple or anything, you can just do that. I've just got a darker colour and a lighter colour and then something a bit darker for the eyes. Then I've also got my felting needle. I'm using a 38 gauge triangular needle, but you can use anything for this. And I also have my needle holder, which is just optional. Then I've got my wool felt background. So this is 100% wool felt, which is a nice, easy background to felt onto. It's about 1 millimetre thick. And then I've got my felting mat, or you can use just a foam mat or a piece of foam or sponge, anything like that to protect your work underneath and for your needle to go into. So once you've got your materials, we are ready to get started. So we're going to take some of our darker colour to begin with, and we're going to make a little body shape. So you can just shape this wool and we're not making these very big, so just kind of doing a rough little square for the body. So as you've shaped that, you're just going to stab and just kind of shape it into this rough little square or rectangle. Like so. Then I'm going to take some more wool and I'm going to do the head. So I'm going to sort of roll this into more of a kind of ball shape. Just kind of shape that into a little circle, and then we're going to stab. And just kind of neaten that into your little circle. So next I'm going to do the ears. So I'm going to take little bits of wool again and I'm just going to kind of shape these, and these are going to go at the side. So you can do really round ears if you want to, but I'm going to do slightly more oval ears. So once you've shaped your wool, we're just going to stab again. Like that. And then I'm going to take our other side. And if it doesn't look as much, you can add a bit more wool, but you can always add, you can always take away too, but just put what you think on, and we're just going to stab that where we want it again. Now if you're losing the shape, you can just peel it back off and just shape it where you're going to want it. Mine is looking a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to add a bit more at the bottom. Like that. Then we're going to take our lighter wool and we're just going to kind of fold it into a little section, and we're going to place that inside the ear. So just going to place it next to the head and use our needle to kind of stab inside, making that a nice little outline. If you want to use pink or something for this, you can, just anything that's going to be lighter than the colour we're using, or you can go darker as well. a contrasting colour. Just going to add a bit more to this one. Like that. I'm going to bring that in a little bit just by using my needle. So the next thing, we're going to take another section of wool, so just pull off an amount, and then we want to hold each end. So if it's kind of too fluffy, just stretch it a little bit by pulling, but we're just going to hold one end with our finger and thumb and then the other end, and we're just going to twist. And can you see how the fibres kind of just come together then into this sort of neater, slightly neater shape, sausage shape. So when you've got your length of wool, we're just going to kind of mould it to the size that we want. So mine's a little bit long, so I've just folded it. And then I'm just going to give it a little twist again, like so. I'm just going to fold the end over. You can shape the wool however you want to. And then we're just going to place it where we want it. So if you want your trunk coming all the way down maybe and then just slightly up, then you can do that. I'm going to have it, I think, coming slightly off to the side. So just play around, and if it's losing its shape, just twist it again. So I think I'm going to have it kind of coming up, just up to the ear, so that we can see it on the light bit of the ear. So I'm first of all going to just stab the side, just to anchor it in place. So this is kind of at the bottom of the head, so that's where we're looking. And then I'm going to come and stab each side, and then just going to make sure we keep the shape. So I'm going to fold it up and just follow gently with your needle and just shape to where you want it to go. So I'm just going to stab at the side like so. So you can see at the moment that's quite raised. If you would like it to be more of a flat shape rather than a raised, then you can just stab over it, which might make it slightly disappear. And then you can take a little bit of darker colour and just kind of roll, twist that in your fingers, and then we can just put a little shadow at the side, just to show where our trunk is. So that's the two options. You can either have it slightly raised, or you can just outline the edges with a bit of dark wool. So I'm just going to make these little thin amounts. And just keep adding wool just to really lift the shape off. Make a little outline. Like that. So once you have your trunk in place, then we're going to take a little bit of light wool, and we're going to do some little kind of stumpy legs and feet. So I'm just going to split that into two, I think, and just roll that in my fingers into a nice kind of little oval shape. And then we're going to place that at the front as a little foot. And do the same with the other side. Just stab that. And then we're going to do two more. So I'm just going to split it, roll one side, put it just slightly at the back there, over here. I'm going to add a little bit more to this front one. And these are just like our little fronts of the feet showing. Now if you do want to outline the legs, you can do. You can kind of just use your needle to make a little indent. Like that. Or you can just leave them as they are. And you can tidy up with your needle. And then we want to do our eyes. So I'm just going to take a small amount of the dark colour and just roll a nice ball in your fingers. And you can dampen your fingers if you're struggling. And then we're just going to kind of place it where we want it. I'm going to get another one. Roughly the same size, and just again roll that in our finger. And now you can play around with where you want the eyes. So depending on the look you want, you could do the eyes kind of down here. You could do them quite high, you could do them mismatched. But you can place these with your needle first, just to kind of get an idea. You can do them really close together. I think I'm going to kind of have mine about in the middle. And you can make them smaller if you want to. And as you're stabbing these eyes in, you can kind of shape them. I'm going to do mine sort of oval, I think. Like that. And if they don't quite match, just stab them a little bit more until they roughly look the same. And then if you've got any areas that are a bit patchy, you can just go and fill them in with a bit more wool. And if you wanted to do an outline around the whole thing, you can do that as well, just by outlining it. Or you can just go back and sort of use your needle to tidy up any edges. And there's our cute little elephant. So that's our first one, and you can play around whichever kind of style and direction you want it to be. And at the end of it, you should have something like this middle one. So I hope you've enjoyed felting along to this cartoon elephant mini series. And I can't wait to see yours. So I will put a link for the Facebook group if you're not already a member. And please tag me in your photos so that I can see you heartfelt, because I would love to see what you have created. And if you want to head over to part 2 for this little side pose, then you can click the link somewhere on the screen now and watch this one. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.